It is Tuesday, June 1st, 2021. This week, some MCU news surrounding Moon Knight and Kraven the Hunter. We watched Eastbound and Down, Titans, and Mare of Easttown. And for the meat, we retell, review, and rate the 2019 MCU film Spider-Man Far From Home. All this and so much more with PC Mike, the Giggler, and I'm your host, Logan. This is Mostly Superheroes. Hello, and welcome to Mostly Superheroes, a weekly pursuit for the world's best stories with an emphasis on live-action superheroes. I'm your host, Logan. Hello, PC Mike. Hello, Giggler. Welcome back to the studio. Memorial Day weekend, folks. We're here on the Tuesday after, and the brain cells are lacking. Giggler, please tell us how your weekend went, my friend.
Oh, man. It was great. Ate a lot of good food. I think I had chicken fingers like 3 times, maybe.
Did you party?
A little bit.
Did you celebrate? Did you wear some red, white, and blue?
Did some day drinking on Saturday for my wife's birthday.
Happy birthday, Steph.
Yeah, Steph, thank you.
Yep.
That was a long day. Actually, not really. I was in bed by 9, but that's how you do a day drink. Am I right?
That's what you do. If you start early, you end early.
That's my ideal day. Like
get in the bed to maybe like, you're like, you know what? I got a few hours till like even midnight. You kind of sleep kind of half awake type thing.
Yes, I totally agree. Then Sunday and Monday was just total rest and relaxation. Didn't really leave my house. Went to Max Local Eats. I know you guys are big fans of that as well.
Best burger ever. That's here in St. Louis, Missouri, but
Yes.
best burger anywhere.
Yes. Did a little queuing yesterday, and
What'd you
queue?
What'd you queue?
Queue.
Did you do some pork, some
pork
burgers,
pork steaks,
okay,
a ribeye, and some more pork steaks.
Yeah, that's Missouri for you
Yeah.
right there. That's pork steaks. But PC Mike, how was your Memorial Day weekend?
Good. Had some people over on Saturday, some family and some friends. I did some queuing as well, and I didn't do pork steaks, but I did pork steak burgers.
Oh damn!
From Kendrick's.
Oh
So,
my god!
Kendrick's great meat source here in St. Louis, Missouri. Like, gotta plug this local business, man.
Hey, St. Louis, say what you want, but our food scene is unreal. Good.
It's fire. I'll give it up for that
Yes.
for sure. We got some good food, good places to eat food, good breweries, and good music.
And then kind of like I did kind of the bizarro weekend of Andy. Everything was kind of flipped. Then I went out on Sunday because it was really nice out, and we went out and saw Ballpark Village. There's a new bar there, Sport and Social, and everything was opened up. And we went to 360, and then we did a little Soulard trip, and those are all the little places around St. Louis. So kind of the same thing, but it was great to get out, see some people. Weather was awesome. But today I think we're all just a little, it's the kickoff of summer, but we're all a little groggy coming into this.
Yeah, Memorial Day's the big beginning. Labor Day's the big end. I was on a bachelor party, as you guys know. I just got back. Shout out to our boy Will Compton over on Bussin' with the Boys. Congratulations to him. We had a great time celebrating him in Austin, Texas. And like I said, just exhausted today. Was happy to hear you guys were on the same page. And with the lack of brain cells, we have kept the agenda lighter than it's ever been. And we're going to see how we push through today. We're all kind of sitting here sweating a little bit. So let's talk about the fans.
Fan mail.
Nice and tight on fan mail today. But first up, I want to keep reminding you folks to give us a call at 754-CALL-LOG. That's 754-225-5564. That's our in-house studio phone. Give us a call, leave us a message, give us a text message. And this is kind of a little preview of news and rumors kind of mixed in with fan mail, but it was sent by a fan. So I wanted to send it over. This is from our boy Scott, who highlighted that this is in the MCU world coming out of Marvel Entertainment. Looks like they tweeted, put out on Instagram, making it official that Oscar Isaac is their Moon Knight. This has been rumored for many, many, many months. We had seen fan art of this and heard about it. It is confirmed, and Oscar Isaac even threw out a tweet with like this picture kind of, it's just this creepy kind of look. He's like, this is what Moon Knight looks like in the comics. He's just kind of making his eyes look like this. It's really cool. Scott says, perfect casting. Moon Knight is going to be pretty dark. I'm highlighting this because we have all said we don't really know anything about this.
Yep.
He says it's going to be akin to Daredevil on Netflix, the series that we all talk about from time to time. Not sure how they're going to do that on Disney Plus. A really good point, because we don't know how they're going to do dark stuff on Disney Plus yet.
I wonder if they're going to have a tab like kids.
Yeah, I
but
think they have to.
I don't know if they can label it adult on Disney Plus.
That's a good point, because that's what YouTube does, right? YouTube has YouTube Kids.
Yeah. Netflix has Netflix Kids.
Really?
I believe so.
Yeah, that I
least
mean,
the
it
Netflix
seems
that
to
I-
be.
Share with somebody has a Netflix Kids tab.
Well, yeah, it seems to make sense, because you wouldn't want your, like, if you have Netflix at home and you got young kids, you won't want them seeing that you're watching, like, the darkest thing on there,
but
maybe.
Disney
Yeah.
Plus is all kids.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it'll be like something a little different, like a code. Like you
A
got to type in
code,
a code.
Or, like you said, an adult section.
yeah, but I don't know if they can label it adult section on Disney Plus.
Just do it like the family video and the
Yeah.
all-
beads.
Oh yeah, you get the special room where you go in. Whatever happens in there, there aren't really any questions.
But I mean, stuff could live in there like The Simpsons,
Yeah.
Deadpool.
yep, Deadpool's gonna be on there.
Yeah,
at a certain
Deadpool's the
point.
one that's like they're gonna have to do this anyways. So just do it. Like when Deadpool becomes on Disney Plus. So
Pretty cool.
just do it now and we'll figure it out.
All right. Well, we'll keep you posted on Moon Knight as things come. Love to have one of our loyal fans here, Scott, always chiming in with us, helping us out in the show, and I'm sure he'll keep us surprised. And now that we have our handy Marvel encyclopedia and books here in the studio, added to the library, we'll keep you in the know with what we can find out in the comic book world. You can be featured on Fan Mail that easily. Do it all at mostlysuperheroes.com. Let's go ahead and get into the news.
News and rumors.
Tight on the news as well. This was the one that we wanted to highlight, and I think we can spin off on this one just to see what the thoughts are. I'm anxious to hear what you guys think of this. Coming out of Cinema Blend, this is Sarah L. Mahmood. This just came out May 31st, 2021, just a few days ago, yesterday. Aaron Taylor Johnson, if you don't know, he played Kick-Ass. He was in Kick-Ass 1 and 2. He also, more relatable to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, played Quicksilver in Avengers Age of Ultron. Okay, so Aaron Tyler Johnson is going to be Kraven the Hunter, a notorious Spider-Man villain in his own solo flick. And this is coming out again of Cinema Blend. Appreciate the article here. We'll have the link to this in our description. And we're also featuring on our YouTube and Facebook video some fan art created by the very, very world-famous Boss Logic, who does really amazing iterations of different comic book characters and other art too. Not sure if you guys follow him on Instagram, but you can at Boss Logic.
Yep.
Go check him out. Andy, let's start with you. What do you think about this news? How is your head spinning whenever you're thinking about this actor that's already been in the MCU coming back to be in the MCU in a solo villain flick?
I'm dumbfounded. I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna do this, but I think they're gonna do it the right way. I don't know. This could you see? Man, I don't know.
He's like really skinny, but I'm also just thinking like they're not going to do anything multiverse related here. This is literally just this actor
Well, yeah,
playing
I
a
think he
different
looks-
character, and it's just going to be like
It's gonna live on its own, kind of like Venom is right now.
He
Right?
looks
Yeah,
the
but-
part for sure. I think that's the main thing. But like the fact that he was already in the MCU, and in my opinion, clearly they're going to some Sinister Six type thing in Marvel as a whole, to where there's going to be this Sony crossover into the MCU.
yeah.
But maybe I'm wrong.
And then it doesn't
I'm putting that
matter.
as it's not confirmed by Marvel or anyone, but that in my head that's exactly what this is all building to. So
Yeah.
at some point, I say this character has to be in the MCU, but he was already. We haven't seen anyone play
No, you're right.
play two different people. That's
Honestly,
just so weird. But
Honestly,
I mean,
that was a
whatever.
mistake on my end. I'm reading now. I see. Okay, no, this is confirmed. This is Sony's
Sony.
Spider-Verse. So yeah, Mike, you're right on. This is just like Venom. This is just like Morbius. But we have also already connected different parts of that universe into the MCU, and there's just all this confusion around it. So who knows? Either way, though, Aaron Taylor Johnson just getting into these roles.
I think the only thing we've ever had like this is with the same character in WandaVision, right?
Yeah, and that's
What's his face?
with Evan Peters.
Evan Peters.
yeah,
It's the only thing
that's a whole
close.
different universe, though.
That's
Like,
a whole
this is
that's
the same-
that's the Fox Marvel verse over there.
But would this be different too then? If it's Sony?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think you were spot on. It is totally different. It's separate. They're doing the same thing that they did with Venom and Morbius here right now. Andy's spot on. Building out the Sinister Six, one movie at a time, will it eventually just roll into the MCU? I think we're all just like hoping so.
I think it's gonna just be already in this next movie, No Way Home.
So you think No Way Home, Spider-Man No Way Home, perfect for today because the meat's far from home. You're thinking that movie is going to go ahead and tie these.
I just think
the Disney multiverse with the MCU to Sony.
They're already having all these people come back for it from the other movies. Like, it just has to be what they're doing. But I mean, I could be wrong. I think it's not going to be. We're not going to see like full movie with all 6 of them. But I think that they'll make appearances in some manner, or at least be hinted at. Maybe
it's a big call. Like, it's a big call.
Yeah, they could tie it up, like just have a reference to this person, to Kraven, and maybe not show him, and that's kind of ties them together, but not ties them together, if you know what I mean.
Have you read about Kraven the Hunter at all in your studies?
That's why I'm excited, because I don't know jack about this character at all.
Okay.
Other than he's a hunter.
Yeah, right. And people call him this notorious Spider-Man villain, but if you're asking me as a animated Spider-Man fan, I've seen all the movies, like I've never really heard of this guy. But we are reading a lot more now. We have more stuff that we're checking out. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is confirmed again. Big thanks to Cinema Blend and a lot of other publications reporting this out. More to come as this another Sony villain Spider-Verse movie is coming out.
Their vibes just don't mesh with me. Like after watching Spider-Man yesterday,
yeah,
and then like thinking about Venom, it's just this is more dark. And I'm not saying that like Spider-Man's campy or anything, but they just don't mesh like almost in the same world. It's gonna be interesting to see if they do.
Yeah, like if you imagine the Venom movies and you look at how that Venom looks, and they're like you're looking at like kind of how that universe works.
There's no Ned. There's no guy that we talked about doing the news.
Right. Well, and it also just it doesn't have that like Marvel look and feel, which is that tonality. It's a little brighter. It's a little fluffier. Not to say it doesn't work when it's dark, but like we haven't really seen the MCU get dark. We've seen it get sad, but we haven't seen like just a flat out dark title really that I can think of.
Wow. That's deep.
Well,
deep and dark.
Well, it is. I'm realizing it now for the first time. I'm like, is there one MCU flick that kind of went down the dark road?
WandaVision? Kind of towards
like
the end.
eerie
at parts.
Yeah. Eerie and like.
But then it was campy too.
It was. And then like a big Hollywood ending.
Yeah.
Like just big, I'm just saying, we will see. Well, if these mix, could it be the perfect storm? Will it mess up? We'll talk to you about it.
This blows my mind, but we'll see what happens in a few months.
Let's talk about what we're watching.
What you watching?
Got a few things on what you watching today. Going to go around the room. You can be featured on what you watching. All you got to do is reach out at mostlysuperheroes.com. You could also join us at the Mostly Superheroes Squad, the private, free, exclusive Facebook group. It is a crew, I guess, too. Just go search us at mostlysuperheroes.com and on Facebook. First up, let's go for the quick one. I know you said you restarted it. PC Mike, go ahead and praise this fantastic, hilarious, amazing, funny show starring Danny McBride, Eastbound and Down.
I finally finished Titans. I made it through Titans the other day.
Well, that's next.
Okay. Well, but then this was
I
on.
got you. You want to talk about Titans first?
No, but this was on the bottom. Like when you finish something, it kind of popped up, and I was
recommended.
Like, yeah, and I was like, huh,
why not?
I was like, I haven't watched this in about 7 years. I started watching it. I watched 1 episode yesterday. I watched 3 today.
Oh man,
I am just losing it.
Is this your second time?
Yeah, this is my second time. Probably like third.
Okay.
Because you kind of catch them here and every once in a while, but like going straight through. But man, the first couple seasons of this. Ashley Schaefer's already made an appearance. Stevie's coming into his own. I just watched the episode. He had his shirt off at his boss's barbecue.
That's a character right there, Stevie.
He might be top 10 secondary characters in comedy.
He's just so obsessed. He's so obsessed with everything. He's like, I'll do anything you need.
Yeah, he's wearing all black now. It's like, what are you wearing? He's like, I'm wearing all black.
Love the photo here. This is on HBO Max. Yeah, this is one I have not done a rewatch on, but man, it's got to be easy to put on.
It is, and it's just like
Will Ferrell. Yeah,
you're just messing on your phone, and then one thing that did pop up that I caught today that was crazy. That like you looking back 10 years when, 2009 is when it first aired. He makes a Michael Myers reference because he has a like mask of himself, and he's like, "Yeah, it looks like a retarded Michael Myers," and it's his face.
Oh my god!
But like, he then remade Michael Myers like a decade later.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of crazy seeing looking back, but man, it holds up. It's raunchy. It's funny.
Yeah. It just catches you off guard. Like one thing after the other, you're like, oh man, they're doing what now?
Yeah, and there's lines that I say all the time that's from here that I don't realize. like just today, like just something stupid. Like they had all the kids outside in the dugouts because Kenny was pitching, but they made them all turn around, and Stevie was yelling at him like, "I'll kill you!" Like these little middle schoolers, and the principal comes out and he's like, "This doesn't look like band, Mr. Janowski."
And he was like, it's okay. This is how we talk about it.
He's like, "You need to respect Kenny Powers."
This man's a legend.
Yeah, it's so good.
I can't get over the outtake scene with the Will Ferrell and the Daniel Craig scene at the car dealership.
I'm gonna make him watch.
Gonna make him watch. He said,
Let the boy watch.
Let the boy watch.
Wow. I think I need to rewatch this now.
Oh, man.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, thank you, Mike.
Love when this happens.
Bring it back in. Would you want to? You've already seen this thing straight through. Is this one that you want to rate for the crew?
I think this one almost needs 2 ratings.
Okay.
I think the first couple seasons are awesome. When he goes to Mexico, I think it kind of falls off the rails a little bit.
It gets
it's
a little,
not as funny.
I
But I
agree.
think he kind of bounces back towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, I would say like a 3.4
That's
for the
solid.
series. Like for a comedy, 3.4, 3.5, something like that.
Hey, let us know when you finish it if you feel the same.
I will.
That's the test.
I'm loving it right now.
All right. Keep us posted, and then you had another one, so you can just go back to back. You said you just finished Titans.
Just finished Titans.
First time.
First time. Talked about it. I'm not going to lie. This one was kind of a struggle for me to get through.
Okay.
I just couldn't get into the characters.
Yep.
They're just kind of cold. And there's like, I don't know.
So this came from DC Universe. It's now on the DC Hub within HBO Max. I texted you guys when you guys told me you're watching it. Remember, this is a few months ago, and I said I was like, all right, I restarted it. I got like 3 in, and I was like, I'm done for now.
Yeah, it's just hard to get into. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what HBO does with it.
Exactly, because they could. I mean, I guess like I want to give like a spoiler alert. I guess so. How many seasons?
2.
So 2 seasons.
13 episodes each.
Before we get into any spoilers, I mean, is this one that you recommend to DC fans right now as it stands?
It's hard for me to say yes, honestly.
That's really interesting.
I mean, it's just like I don't care about the characters.
Yeah,
They're just so
it feels
bland.
a little. It feels a little like it feels a little forced.
Yeah, and
Giggler, what do you think?
I
of this
feel
show?
like I
'Cause
feel
you
like
finished it
I
as
kept
well, right?
watching it. Yeah, I feel like I kept watching it because I knew at the time that like what it's building towards, like adding more characters from that universe. Like you said, spoiler alert already. Like
We can
Red
do it.
Hood and a bunch of like people like that are supposed to be in this next season. I think that gives it potential. Like I know it's going towards that, but you're right. I think that the last couple seasons have been not like there's just something missing. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into some like real details here. So spoiler alert for this: Titans on HBO Max. I mean, yeah. So you had you had Robin, then you have a second Robin come in. All right, and then like you got a young like Wonder Woman. The Wonder Woman's like younger, like niece or something.
kind of hard to follow.
You got Beast. You got Cyborg who comes in here from Doom Patrol.
But then he leaves for a while, and
Yeah, because he's a Doom Patrol character, but like,
Yeah.
like he goes on Doom Patrol as like pretty much a regular.
Mhm.
Like this actor. I don't even know some of these other folk. Oh,
Hank.
the Super Lad or Superboy. I thought that was kind of cool in
Yeah,
season
yeah.
2 when that started going down.
yeah, and then you have like the love story with Dawn and Hank.
Yeah, Dawn and Hank, man, they're great.
That's a pretty good little story.
Hank, what's his name? Alan Richardson. He played
Yeah.
Aquaman in Smallville.
Yeah.
You got Raven. I think we already said Beast Boy.
Starfire, like that's that.
Oh yes,
Like I don't really
Starfire.
care about that. The guy, the Beast, Beast Boy who turns into a lion
Who also
or
is on-
tiger
who-
all the time.
Also, he was on the Doom Patrol episode in Titans.
Oh yeah.
And then the season 2 focuses on the battle between
Deathstroke,
Deathstroke and the Titans.
which is kind of cool, but it's kind of the story of why they're going at each other because of Deathstroke's son. Like Deathstroke accidentally stabbed him
Yeah.
when he was fighting
Against
Dick
Rob.
Grayson.
He's fighting Robin and accidentally kills his own son.
Yeah, but then he's alive in spirit.
I saw a funny tweet one
I was like,
time,
I don't-
tweet or a
what's
meme. I
going
wish I
on
could give
here?
credit to this. I honestly don't remember, but it was just like a random thing on the internet where it was like, hey, how come Deathstroke's fighting all these kids?
Yeah, it's true.
Because they're young kids.
And then Deathstroke's daughter like tries to infiltrate the Titans, falls in love.
falls in love with the other Robin,
Other Robin, Jason Todd.
Jason Todd.
Yep.
But then they break up. And then
What'd you think of the Batman?
I mean, it's the guy
Game of
from
Thrones?
Game of Thrones.
That was crazy.
Khaleesi.
Yeah.
That guy.
But it was a weird dynamic.
Khaleesi, my love.
Like-
Whatever that guy is, the red bearded guy that gets peeled off in each Game of Thrones.
Like Dick Grayson's jealous that Batman's picking up another like Jason Todd. He's like, oh, he just used you like he used me. I'm like, what's he using you for? This is kind of some weird vibes.
Yeah, and like
Forgot
what,
you said that.
And I was like, what
When
kind
we
of mind
reviewed it.
games is Bruce Wayne playing? Because he gives the Robin kid the exact same suit.
Yeah.
Like not even a different suit.
But then he gets, I mean,
Well-
spoiler, he turns into Nightwing.
Which, like Nightwing, that's what you're always wanting. You know, you watch that Batman the Animated Series, when Nightwing starts coming around, you're like, oh, this is cool.
It has potential, but like there's too many characters. It's
Yeah.
just bland.
Now that I'm remembering like things from that second season, I think I would recommend it to people.
Okay. Yeah,
even-
because we are getting a little jazzed up talking about parts of it.
Yeah,
Parts.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking about like Nightwing. That I like that whole story arc with him.
He went
but
to
yeah.
jail and then broke out.
I mean, you get to see Batman on screen, right? But it's in a dream.
You just have to like.
Why
take-
do they have to like devalue it even at all? They're like, well, it's a dream. I'm like, well, why can't it just be Batman?
Right. You just have to take it for what it is. It's a CW show, but
But it
with-
wasn't. Well,
but-
it was a DC universe
but better.
show.
Like I got that
More
vibe
cussing.
for a while
MA.
that I
it's R.
yeah that I like was only kept watching it because it's part of this universe that I
Yes.
am addicted to,
It-
and like I couldn't stop watching The Flash until it hit like literal rock bottom, and now I see memes all the time on Instagram of people like just ripping on The Flash show right now of how bad it is.
It is
I
a
hear what you're saying.
CW show, but they say the F word every once
They
in a
say
while.
the F word.
Yeah.
There's more blood. There's more violence of like, killing. There's like killing involved. But I hear what you're saying. If you're a DC fan, you probably need to watch this because it's like it's a DC swan song for all these like younger characters that you know. All right, HBO Max Titans. Do we know if this has been renewed for a third
Yes,
season?
I believe it has.
I
yeah,
believe it has
it's coming
too.
out very soon.
There'll be a Titans third season. Yes.
I think it's
When's it
this
coming?
summer.
This August on HBO Max.
Well, shoot.
So, all right, I recommend watch it this
Well, now
summer
you
at some
have to
point.
because if it's still being made, now you're in. But that could be one that you wait on to binge. But I'm with you guys. Where will this connect in the HBO DC universe?
Yeah, because they have that new show with Gotham
Yeah.
as well.
Yes. And they have the Peacemaker show, and they have Doom Patrol coming back.
I need to get back into Doom Patrol too.
Doom Patrol is good. I do like.
Do you like it better than this?
Yes.
I like the Brendan Fraser's hilarious.
Oh
I
my
feel
God.
like in it.
He's great.
Um,
Season 2 is okay.
I feel like
but
the
it was good.
characters are a little better in Doom Patrol than this.
more developed.
Yeah.
You get more more that you care about.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, we'll keep you posted. Let us know what you think out there, fans. If you like Titans, let us know if you do. And if you give us a rating if you like. Write us at mostlysuperheroes.com. Giggler, PC Mike. We're going to triple team this thing.
Oh,
I think I
yeah.
want to do this. Okay, so we have we're going to be talking about Mare of Easttown on HBO Max. It's an HBO original. You can watch it on Hulu Premium, YouTube TV Premium, Amazon Prime Video Premium, and of course HBO Max. I want us to do something kind of cool. I want us to do kind of what we just did for Titans. Let's give our rating, spoiler-free take real quick, and then just say then we can talk about spoilers because this is our last thing we're talking about before the break.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go first, man. This is a must-watch.
100% agree.
Should have pulled up the tweet, but I tweeted about it. You guys probably saw this thing. Me and Carrie finished this yesterday. A mystery thriller, like PC Mike brought it up for the very first time last week. A 7-part miniseries on HBO. You have Kate Winslet in here playing a detective in a smaller rural town where everybody knows each other. Everyone's basically related. And this thing is a twisting, turning, keep you guessing till the end. Who done it? What's going on? What's happening? And a real look at life with trauma. Man, this is crazy. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. I'll go ahead and rate it. You got to give this thing a solid 3.4. Let's go Giggler and then Mike. Giggler, tell us how you went with this one. When did you finish it? How'd it go?
I finished this yesterday because of your tweet, so thank you for that.
Oh, look at that.
Motivated me.
Twitter works.
Yes, I was like, okay, I know they both finished it, so I got to get on the horn to get this over with, so we can talk about it. And I was not disappointed. I would go a little bit higher than you, maybe a 3.6.
Wow. Good score.
This is exactly what I want in a show like this. Keeps you guessing the whole time. There's a lot of things going on at once where you're just kind of at certain points you're just like, where is this going? But it's not to the point where like you get disinterested. I was like hooked the whole time. Where episode after episode, I was like, all right, I can't wait to finish this.
Hell
So
yeah.
I loved it. This is exactly the type of just mind F's where you're just like, what the hell is going on? And
Hell yeah.
I mean, the only knock on it was like it's just super depressing overall.
Yeah, it's a down
But-
show. It's about dark things that have happened, and in a small town, how do you live with these things? And then at the same time, there's all this like kind of crime happening. What's going on?
Yep.
PC Mike, tell us about how you felt during Mare of Easttown.
I am same score as Andy. I'm at
3.6.
3.6.
Oh, nice.
I rank it a little bit below True Detective, season 1 and 3.
Yes.
Just a tad bit below there. A lot of red herrings in this one, but it was the first show since probably True Detective season 3 where I wanted to like get online and look at conspiracy theories and things like that. We did it for WandaVision, but for some reason, like a crime show pulls me in more
Yeah.
than that. Just crazy theories out there I saw that I started to believe, twists and turns. I read some funny things on
Well, let's do this.
The Ringer.
Now that we've given the ratings, let's go and give a spoiler alert for this title. How about that? Because we've rated it. Go ahead. Get into it.
I mean, it's kind of it's a story of a downtrodden kind of mom who I read something today that this is about moms. This show is all about moms. There's nothing.
If you don't want to know about this, you better have already paused and get out of here. We're going to talk about this thing. It is about moms heavy.
Because what will a mom do for the people that they love?
Yes.
How does it affect everyone around them? How are they heads of families and things like that? A girl is murdered, and it's to find out who did it. And I don't know if we want to give a big spoiler like
The
takeaway.
biggest.
I
But
said-
we're talking to people now that I think that have watched it, hopefully.
hopefully.
That's what
But
I'm
I don't know.
Because I already gave the spoiler alert, so like they're off doing whatever now.
It's hard for me because
Where do you think they go? They just like go in the other room? Like they're like, I'll just come back when they're done. No, you fast forward. until we're not.
I say we don't give away the ending.
Oh,
That's just me.
all right. Well, what you want to say it for another day? Like when else? We're here.
I just came out.
You got to remember.
It just came out.
You got to
I don't
remember though, people will be listening to this podcast for the next 50 years.
I know, but it's 7 hours that they need to invest to get the payoff.
So now they've done it. They've come back. Here you are. They've seen it. In my mind, we're talking to people that have finished this thing.
I mean, what do you want to say?
I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna say like, yeah, I guess you're right. You like don't want to spoil. You don't want to say it out loud. Almost is what
Yeah.
is what you're getting at. Because here's what happened. We'll just do it kind of like how we felt when we watched this thing. Like so, like on episode 5, we got done and like it was like such a crazy ending of like, oh, they got it. They figured it all out. Carrie was like, is this a season finale?
Yes,
Yeah.
we did the same thing.
So like it's that kind of show to where like I even said early on I was like, is it this person? Is it this person? I was like, these shows really have it tough these days. Like you're right. Let's not talk about like specific things that happen. We can talk about all this without doing that. It's like these shows have it really tough because every show is so predictable nowadays.
There's so many red herrings in this one.
You're saying that they're just leading you in. It's
They're
not
leading you
this,
different ways.
but there's a lot of layers.
Mm-hmm. And now looking back, you see why
Yes.
things transpired the way they did. But here's kind of a spoiler-free thing. There was a girl that was murdered, but then there's also girls that are missing. So are those connected?
Mm-hmm.
And one of those stories wraps up episode 5. One of those stories doesn't wrap up to the end.
Yeah, and the
So
other
you're
one
kind
keeps
of
going.
thinking about different things. I did read something that made me laugh out loud about this.
Let's hear it.
So it's not really a spoiler, but her ex-husband lives behind them. And I read
and
an
it's
article-
the guy from The Office, that played
It's, what's his
Pam's
name?
ex,
Yeah. Roy.
Roy.
Oh,
It's
God,
Roy.
yes.
It's
Yep,
Roy in the
that's one of best
backyard.
parts.
Lives behind him.
And they said
New lady, fiance.
they said we don't think he did it, but he is the most psycho person on this show to live behind his ex-wife.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's true.
And he's
Like,
so involved with like her family. He's so involved with like her mother.
yeah. They're all like still one family, which
And they're reeling from a suicide of her own son
Mhm.
many years ago.
which I went down rabbit holes like maybe something it wasn't a suicide and things like that. There's so many things that you can start looking at.
Well,
go
and
into.
that's what I started doing when this show got pretty good in the later episodes. I started like really, I was like, you know what? They they've done some big stuff here. I was like, what if, like, I'm looking at it the same way you are. I was like, okay, did the ex of the son that killed himself have something to do with the kid dying? And then you're like, and then there was, you know what there was a lot of in this show too? Whose babies are these?
Mm-hmm.
The whole time you're going like, whose kid is
crazy.
this? And who cares about it? And then it becomes like, well, why do you care about a kid at all? They ask these questions. What does it mean to be a parent? What does it mean to care for a baby that literally might have no one else to care for it?
Yep.
It's a story about grief. It's a story about living with grief. It's a story about moving on from grief. It's a story about also about like forgiving people for the hardest things you've ever had to forgive.
I feel like Kate Winslet could win an Emmy or something for this.
my God.
'Cause
She we finished this and me and Carrie were just sitting in silence. I was like really just sitting. I was like, that was really good.
I don't think I've seen her in anything since
Titanic?
Yes, for real. I don't think I have.
I'm trying to pick. I don't know.
Was she
Was she in another detective show? I feel like?
Revolutionary Road and all that stuff.
Never
wasn't
saw
she in?
that. But in this
She
one,
won
man,
another Oscar.
she turns it.
Road to Perdition.
She turns it on in this one. I mean, at the beginning, you almost do feel like, okay, like this is a battered woman detective show. Like she's mean, she's gruffy, she's hard to get through to. But like then you learn that like this character is actually super self-aware, able to articulate her emotions. She's like happy to go to therapy and like for the police and be like, all right, I'll talk to you, but I don't think this will work. She's very in touch with it, and she knows how to like talk with people. Did you watch the behind the scenes of Mare of Easttown after it ended? That was pretty good. I highly recommend it. It was like literally only 20 minutes. It's her talking about the show, her talking about some of the hardest scenes she's ever filmed in her whole life. Like when the daughter of hers is breaking down when she's drunk at night, and she's like, "This is your fault. It's your fault that my brother killed himself. You should have seen it." She's like, "I want it." She's like, "I was feeling the scene and I was crying, but I also had to play Mare, who is like tough and can take it and can help someone." And yeah, just Kate Winslet, got to give it up for sure.
You know what movie she's getting ready to be in?
Huh?
Avatar 2 and 3 and 4.
All of them?
I think so.
Can't wait.
Does it say like who or nothing
Yeah,
like that?
it does. Ronal.
Ronal is
I don't
that sounds like an Avatar person, like a blue person.
Yeah. There's a poster for Avatar coming
Avatar 2, when's that come out in theaters?
December 16th, 2022.
So next year, keep an eye out for Kate Winslet in the second Avatar
Can't
movie.
wait.
How long have they been waiting for that Avatar? Jesus.
I mean, the sequel,
15 years?
How many years? I was to say, will it be in between? The first one came out in, I would guess, 2008, 7?
9.
9, shoot.
13 years.
That's a long time. And especially
why?
like for that type of movie. I wonder if
Why?
the
The biggest ever.
do you think it'll be like
At the
13
time.
years have passed type thing?
I don't know, but then I think they're going to do 2, 3, 4, like boom, boom, boom.
Oh yeah, you're probably right.
Well, back to Mare of Easttown. Wrap this thing up. We rated it. We started to spoil it. We decided we couldn't do
I
it.
just don't-
Honestly, that just shows how good we all thought it was because you didn't want to say the
You don't
words
wanna
out
say
loud
it.
to even potentially spoil it for one person.
When I was
So,
writing my tweet, it was very on my mind of like, do not give any part of what this is like story wise.
yeah, because the whole damn show, every 5 minutes, I'm like, it was this person. It was this person.
If
Nope,
we ever
it was
wanna-
this person.
If we ever want to break it open and like do I'm thinking about the rabbit holes you're talking about. Maybe one day we'll do something like that.
And I was even thinking on our scale, like rewatchability.
Yeah.
This will be hard to rewatch because it's one of those, okay.
Yeah.
But it could be one you go back and like look for the clues. a
It
little
could
bit
also
more.
be one that you go back and watch, like say maybe 5 years later, because then you're like, oh man, I don't really remember. Like when you start to forget, you're like, I just go put that on because it is an amazing story.
Awesome.
All right, Mare of Easttown, go check it out on HBO. With that, we're gonna take a quick break, come back, talk about some comic book superhero stuff. It is mostly superheroes after all. Stick around. We'll be right back. What's up, mostly superheroes fans? Thanks so much for checking out the show. Logan here, your host. Be sure to check out Mostly Superheroes, the music show, our spinoff on Spotify featuring songs and soundtracks from movies old and new. It's light, it's easy, it's quick, and it's fun, and you usually learn something new. It's all happening at mostlysuperheroes.com/the music show. Enjoy the rest of this one with PC Mike, the Giggler, and myself. Take it easy.
The meat.
Welcome back from the break. This is Mostly Superheroes. I'm your host, Logan, here with PC Mike and the Giggler. This is Mostly Superheroes, going to earn that name in the later half of the episode, as we usually do. The Giggler, I'm looking at you this time. We have been reading lately, looking at more comic book stuff, making Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and all these folks proud, probably going back and reading this stuff. You
For
have
sure.
now subscribed. Is it a subscription? Is my first
Yeah.
question. To Marvel Unlimited, a comic book app program on your phone that has access to, you said, 28,000 plus titles.
Yes, it's very overwhelming. But
How is it?
I saw this ad, thanks to the algorithm, probably with all the other comic book stuff I've been buying lately, on Facebook. That was for this Marvel Unlimited, like $10 off. It's $60 for, actually now it's 70 for 1 year, and that's unlimited access to those 28,000. And it takes probably the ones I was reading. This Secret Wars is like 12 comics in a series, and it probably took me 15-20 minutes to read each one.
Okay,
But
and so you've started one of 12 issue limited series, Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars.
Yes. So basically, high level story is just that this being called the Beyonder brought basically all of the Avengers, Fantastic Four, X-Men, and then all of their associated villains to this planet that's basically a conglomeration of all the other planets. And they're basically just brought there out of nowhere. Like they all were like, wait, I was just at my home. What's going on?
Ooh.
And basically tells them it's a free for all, and if you slay your enemy, you will get what you want. And
Oh, Jesus.
so there's so much going on with all these characters, and like even like I mean, look,
It's like Hunger Games, but with all the heroes and villains.
yeah, for our YouTube people, like look at how like beautiful this is.
Yeah, you see
This-
everybody get Captain America, Wolverine, Cyclops, She-Hulk, Hawk, somebody with Hawkeye, Incredible Hulk, Spider-Man, just like everybody.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
also, I don't want to connect it too much. I'm almost like kicking myself now. Should have put it at the end of our MCU rewatch, I feel like. But, you talk about Skrulls, and I think they play a role in Secret Wars, right? Isn't that
that's Secret Invasion.
Damn it.
This
I
is
knew it
yeah.
right when I said it.
It's okay.
So many secrets.
That's what we gotta do. That's why we read these things.
I haven't read my books yet, so
guess what? Sure as hell. Once we get to Secret
Okay, cool.
Invasion show coming out, I'll probably be reading those. I just had a lot of fun doing this. It like brought me back to see things from like a new perspective, and the way that like we've seen these movies. Like the only reason why I know what all these characters are is from the movies. So
because of the movies, and now you're looking at
But-
comics, and you're like, that's how I know them.
yeah,
It's backwards.
so it's exactly backwards, like you said. Like it's wild that that's Captain Marvel in the middle.
What's
That's
it? And you're reading it on
Monica
your.
Rambeau, that was not even the Captain Marvel that we have now. So
That's amazing. Are you reading this on your phone?
yes, it's on.
But
your
you
phone.
could read it on an iPad.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting a laptop, so I'm probably move over to that eventually. But
Oh, yeah.
if even on your phone, it does a really good job of like breaking it down to a photo that you can see, and read everything. Like I thought I'd be just zooming in a bunch and like reading the text and then moving on to the next page. Like you can cycle through each pane basically at once.
That's cool.
And like it zooms into where you need to see. It like keeps you kind of entertained to where it's not overwhelming, where you're just like flying all over the page. Like
Has it like a zoomed in interface? It's
Yeah.
not like you're looking at the comic book from a far distance.
yeah, it's very well put together. And like I read this series, and there's like it's just crazy. There's like a series in the 80s, then the 90s, 2015, and it's just now I see why there's so much source material. So they're literally
Right.
the possibilities are endless of
Well,
what we can see.
And like you said, 28,000 plus titles, comic books. This is Marvel Unlimited, electronic comic book subscription. Do you recommend it for people out there that are trying to get into comics? It's been a good experience so far.
For sure. I mean, I
Okay.
spent a lot of time on like Reddit and stuff, seeing like what order you should do it in, or what. I mean, basically the general consensus is there's too much to do it in any type of order. Just take a series and run with it and see how you like it, and then kind of go from there.
That was going to be my question. Like, why did you pick
Yeah,
this
Yeah.
one?
I
out of
actually
all those.
went through that history of the Marvel Universe comic that we had here last week, and I kind of
Mark Twain.
Mark Wade.
Wade.
So I went through that again, and I kind of like picked out sections that I was more interested in. Like, oh, I want to hear more about this story, because it didn't. Obviously, this is not anything we've seen in the MCU now. Maybe we can someday, but there's a lot more characters that need to be introduced, or some different version of it. Who knows?
Good deal. Well, keep us posted on what you're reading out there. I mean, we talked about doing what you read and trying to mix this in. I like bringing it into the meat, just keeping it connected to superheroes, especially if we're doing like an MCU title that day. I thought it'd be cool to like do, okay, Marvel comic, highlight something, talk about an MCU title. So that's kind of what we're doing today, kind of mixing it in. So keep us posted. That's Marvel Unlimited. You can download it on your device. It's probably in your app store, I would assume.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure you could just Google Marvel Unlimited and you'll find it.
So there's 3 like big things like this.
Subscription, comic book
Subscriptions,
programs. Okay, well, tell us about us. Tell us
One
about
is Comixology, $6 a month, and I think that's a mixture of diverse options, plenty of big mainstream stuff and smaller stuff.
Okay.
Then there is this one, Marvel Unlimited, and then there's also a DC one, DC Universe Infinite.
Okay.
This can be
All right,
$10.
good
You
to
can
know.
do this for $10 a month also, but I just did it was basically buy 6 months, get 6 free. So I was like, I'm in.
Yeah, we get
I
it.
read one
We
and
get
I'm
it. You're
in.
rich.
Yeah.
Got plenty of cash on hand. You're like, I'll pay this all now. Pretty good. But you got some options out there. It's probably like pay as you go if you want. Sounds like all of them are ranging.
You can do a yearly, like Andy said, or you can do monthly.
I like it. I mean, it's there's so many comic books out there, and if you're trying to get into the physical collection game, it might be just a little tough or a little daunting. This is the digital way. You could pay $6 a month now. I feel like I'm selling it to you, but I'm just thinking about it for myself as a consumer. Maybe I do it for a month, and I'm like, I'll take a break for a month or two. I kind of do that with like Kindle, even for audiobooks.
Yeah.
Well, this one says like if you want to get into comics, like you're spending $3 or $4 a comic. This you can have 12 comics.
Oh yeah, I'd be for. I mean, these are fun to read, but I'd be pissed if I spent $4 per to read
For every single one,
Like,
right?
just for anyone that is on the fence about like getting into this, like my biggest concern was reading it on a phone. It would be weird, but it's completely comfortable. I would do it. Like,
And there's
don't
bigger
don't let
screens.
that stand in the way. That was the only thing stopping me prior.
And
And-
do it on your iPad.
Yeah, well, I don't have one yet, but
One day, or like you said, computer. I mean, you can read these things on anything. I'm sure you can download the apps. All right, we'll keep you posted. We'll keep reading stuff, and I just want to let you guys know we do have some stuff for the add into the library here. I actually got the Marvel book, Expand Your Knowledge of a Vast Comics Universe. This is different than the history of the Marvel universe. Quick synopsis: the Marvel book charts an exhilarating course through the fascinating, dynamic, and awe-inspiring Marvel Comics universe. Really excited to dive into it. I haven't really cracked it open yet, and we do have the encyclopedia here in the studio now. I also ordered the DC encyclopedia, so we'll be able to look up anything on the spot using a real life book. I want the listeners to hear us turning the pages
for sure.
and we'll keep you posted on that. And with that, let's go ahead and get into the meat today, talking about our next title in the MCU rewatch. Filling this thing up all at mostlysuperheroes.com/MCU. We've been doing this thing for several months now, and we are about to wrap up Phase 3. This is the movie that's going to do it. Let's go ahead and set it up before we do our recap with a nice introduction. This movie taking place after Avengers Infinity War and right after Avengers Endgame. It's the sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming and right before WandaVision. It's the 23rd MCU title produced by Columbia Pictures and Marvel Studios, distributed by Sony Pictures. The film was directed by John Watts, written by Chris McKenna and Eric Summers, and stars Tom Holland as Peter Parker, coming back as Spider-Man, alongside Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury and Zendaya coming in as MJ. It's July 2nd, 2019 at the time, and MCU fans around the world are still reeling from the end of the epic Infinity Saga in Avengers Endgame. This is it, folks, wrapping up Phase 3, Spider-Man Far From Home. It had a budget of $160 million. Are you ready? It made a $1.132 billion with a B, just a little bit more than Captain Marvel that we just talked about last week. Did just fine. Let's go and do some gut checks and a major spoiler alert for this film because we're going to bust it wide open. PC Mike, let's just get it out of the way. Did you watch this movie?
Check.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. I can't wait to hear. Let's go and get your gut check first, then. First time ever seeing this thing. How was this Spider-Man film for you? How'd you feel about it?
I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. Spider-Man is not one of my favorite superheroes. I'm just going to say that.
Good, yeah. Set the context.
I just don't really, I'm a Batman guy. I like a little dark. I like a little brooding. But I think he does this role almost perfect. I love the side characters. We talked about it before, and I'll let you highlight your one guy. But I think Ned's good. I like Ned in the first one better than this one, though. I will say that.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think his little girlfriend thing was kind of funny, but
I feel like he's not near as present in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Zendaya's awesome.
Yeah.
Overall, my rating. Are we
No,
doing
not yet.
ratings?
No.
Not yet?
No. We'll do the synopsis first, connect the dots, and that way you'll have it for how you feel. Just want to get like kind of that initial gut check.
Last initial.
Yeah.
The villain did something really unique here, and I kind of like that.
Can't wait to break it open with you. Giggler, how was this? How many times have you seen this movie, and how'd you feel?
I've seen this probably 20 times.
Oh, shit.
20?
It has only been out for 2 years.
all right. Maybe 10 or 15. It's on TV so much, and like I said, it's like when there's nothing else on, there's a Marvel movie on usually. That just ends up being on my TV.
Did you watch? So it's on TV. Does that mean it's on Stars usually?
Yeah.
But are you watching it on like what?
Star? It's on Stars. Yeah.
Is that where you've been?
Yeah.
Like when you say I saw it on TV?
Yeah.
though,
Yeah. Movie channels.
the movie
We got all
channels.
this because of Dom.
Damn, man, you just rolling in it.
Told you he's gonna be taking him. He's
Go over to Andy's house.
He's gonna be taking him away soon. So
Andy,
I'm
will you
sad.
buy me comics?
But so you obviously love this film. Holy cow! I don't think I had known that you had seen this that many times.
Yes. Yeah. This is a great movie.
Should have let you do the
I remember,
recap.
it's a great movie when you can like remember where you saw it in the theater and like who you saw it with, like things like that.
Yeah.
And also maybe just helps that it was a couple years ago, like you just said. My memory is a little bit better of that versus longer. It just keeps going day by day by Memorial Day when we just delete all these brain cells.
Yeah. You had it locked and loaded, and then you had this weekend, and it all disappeared.
Yeah. What? But yeah, I love this movie.
You know, and I think I have a mix up here on the screen. It has Disney Plus. Now, this movie and the rest of the Spider-Man films are coming to Disney Plus soon. I don't think they're there yet. Like we just said, it's on Stars,
Amazon.
and I bought it from Apple, so it's on my thing. I watched it through there, and I just assumed that Marvel had already changed 10 things since I watched it 2 years ago. Like, that one scene's missing. Well, let's just talk about the scenes and give you a nice little 2-minute recap of the movie, what matters, make the connections. Again, spoiler alert right now for Spider-Man Far From Home. If you don't want to know what happens, hit pause. The last movie of Phase 3 of the MCU. Oh, man, I'm going to hit pause real quick. I just remembered. I have a correction from last week again. Remember when I had to make a correction for Ant-Man and the Wasp? It just hit me. So last week we talked about...
Last week was Captain Marvel.
I called the stone that gave her powers. The Power Stone. It's the Space Stone.
It's okay.
I know it's okay, but I just want the listeners to know that, like, we have integrity on the show, and I'm not just going to let things drop.
Here's the thing. Do you go in and edit the audio of that so that you pull a Marvel and go back and fix it?
If I catch it during editing, I will, like, fix it right then and there just to try to, like, just make it easy. But you know what happened, though? I had put it out in the world. I was listening, and I said it, and I, to myself, go, that's wrong. Like, to myself. So I just want you to know.
Happens to the best of us.
Happens to the best of us. Let's try not to mess it up on this one. Spider-Man Far From Home. Okay, last movie of Phase 3 of the MCU picks right up after Avengers Endgame in a post-blip New York City. If we didn't say this, it's a spoiler alert, not just for Spider-Man Far From Home. Major spoiler alert for Avengers Endgame. If you haven't finished up Avengers Endgame, this is the movie right after that. Tom Holland reprises his role as Spider-Man in a world without his mentor, a.k.a. Iron Man, a.k.a. Robert Downey Jr., who has left Peter artificial intelligence-powered, satellite-connected, weapon-wielding pair of reading glasses they call Edith, which stands for Even Dead, I'm the Hero. Returning for this one is Aunt May, played by Marissa Tomei. Hey. And Happy coming back as John Favreau, where we learn Peter is going on a school trip to Europe, trying to make it happen with his crush, Mary Jane Watson, played by, in this movie, Zendaya. There's a new threat known to Earth as the Elementals, giant beings who are from another world called Earth 833, along with newcomer superhero Mysterio, a.k.a. Quentin Blake, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, whose family was killed, and he's here on Earth 616, as they call it in the movie, to seek revenge. After an epic battle in Prague, Peter gives the glasses to Quentin, but then pretty much immediately realizes this guy's the bad guy. After a pep talk from Happy and some self-reflection building his brand new suit on an amazing Avengers jet, Peter returns to London with an epic showdown where he does defeat Mysterio. He kisses MJ. He reunites with his friends and takes MJ swinging around New York. It's a story about stepping up when the world needs you most, but at the end of the day, it has to be your choice. It's a swan song for Tony Stark, and Tom Holland comes out swinging in this knockout sequel. It's Spider-Man Far From Home. That's the story. Couple in credit scenes. Big thing here. Mysterio, a.k.a. Jake Gyllenhaal, outs Peter Parker to the world as Spider-Man with a very special guest cameo appearance by Jonah Jameson from the Sam Raimi universe out of nowhere. And the second one is Nick Fury, who's in this movie, of course, played by Samuel L. Jackson, turned out to be a Skrull the entire time. He's on Earth pretending to be Nick Fury. And these are the folks that we, of course, met in the movie we just talked about last week, Captain Marvel.
WTF.
Let's talk about some other favorite parts. Giggler, geez, this is your movie. You've seen this thing 20 times. I got a list. Tell me all about what you love about this. Let's let the Giggler give us this one.
I mean, I think this movie just shows that Tom Holland is the man for Spider-Man. I think this movie has a little bit of everything. A lot of the action scenes are probably even better than the last movie. Spider-Man wise, obviously, not Endgame. I mean,
yeah, right.
And obviously has a little bit of the love story, advancing a little bit. I love to see that. What am I missing? Everything.
Well, there's, the one thing I'll say is, I'll go through some of my favorite stuff. I got, I like the big scroll reveals. I like the big fight scene between Mysterio and Spider-Man whenever he's just making Peter hallucinate the whole time. And you just talked about how good this movie looks. Like, you're just watching this thing like, this is some of the most, like, this looks so legit, so amazing. Like, you're like, you're fooled the whole time. Like, like, what will he put in front of Peter Parker next, including a dead Tony Stark being like a zombie Iron Man? That's something we see.
I love the callbacks, too, of like, why Mysterio... Is it Mysterio?
Yeah, Mysterio, yes.
Why is he doing this? And like the callbacks, even all the way back to Iron Man 1, of the guy getting yelled at because Tony Stark could build this in a cave and you can't.
And like
and he's like on his team.
It's all these people that are scorned by Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And I think I said Quentin Blake. It's Quentin Beck.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's like this scorned guy pretending to be this multiverse guy from another Earth. Again, turned out he was lying, but some things he wasn't lying about was like he did call our Earth 616, which is like in the Marvel comics, I know. But to your point, Mike, yeah, this is, again, that's why I said swan song for Tony Stark. It's not even just a callback. It's like a literal flashback from the first Iron Man movie.
Him calling his life's work barf.
Yeah, a flashback from Captain America Civil War. Like Tony Stark on screen in some of these films we've seen him in before.
Yep.
I love Peter Parker's rival, Flash Thompson, still.
Yeah.
He's like, I love Spider-Man. It's like, why do you love Spider-Man so much? He's like, he's just so cool.
He's so cool. He makes me be a better man. And then Peter walks in. He's like, hey, what's up, douchebag? Heard you drown.
And then Peter getting caught with that tall Russian whatever blonde and like getting the phone and doing all that stuff. Just like teenage stuff.
We've talked about this before, but like the MCU, this is the first title in the MCU that acknowledges the blip, like it's post-blip. So it's like, how did this affect high schoolers? Oh, the ones that disappeared come back 5 years later. They're the same age. Everybody else is
like
aged
glow
5
up,
years.
and that one kid like glow up, like he's
an adult
good-looking guy, and he's like hitting on MJ the whole time.
The two reporters at the beginning of the movie, like the school reporters, and that guy, and that guy's like, it's so weird. My little brother's my big brother now.
Flash.
This movie was for sure funnier than honestly most other.
I thought it
Marvel
was
movies.
hilarious.
Flash Thompson tries to drink, and he's like, "Hey, he was blipped. He's only 16."
Just gives it right back.
But was like, that's the one thing I kind of had a problem with. That all their friends get bliffed, so they're the same age.
Right. It worked
Just
out to
for-
where like Peter, Ned, Flash, Zendaya,
The
but
chick from
the girl that plays the other
Mare of-
reporter, she's the daughter of
Mare.
Mare
Yeah.
in Mare of Easttown.
Yep. Kind of just small little world.
I just finished that yesterday, watched this movie today. I was like, there she is.
Yeah.
Hilarious too.
It took me like 4 episodes into Mare of Easttown to realize it. I was like, well, where do I know this girl from?
I was like, to the end, I was like, I guess I just won't know until today.
I know it sucks because you don't want to look up I always want to look that stuff up online, but I'm afraid I'm going to see a spoiler or at
Yeah.
least see like when you see how many episodes that
Like
person's in.
6.
And you're like, oh no.
Right? Yeah, she's not the finale.
Yes.
I like the teachers in here too.
The teachers, played by JB Smoove.
JB Smoove
And the guy from Silicon Valley with the glasses and the beard.
Martin Starr.
Martin
Love
Starr.
that guy.
And Freaks and Geeks.
He's Freaks and Geeks. He is so good in this. He's an ill-equipped teacher taking these kids to London. He goes,
Parker, you have a perfume allergy? We gotta move.
He goes, this is a real deal. At one point when the bus is like getting attacked, he yells to JV Smoove. He's like, I'm doing my best. Just trying to keep these kids alive as they're bouncing around. I really liked when Spider-Man meets Mysterio. I was super let down to hear that this multiverse story of another Earth existing was just a lie. But then
now.
again, for
Crazy.
now, we know the multiverse is real. You know, we know that, I mean, Multiverse of Madness is a title, so we know it's real. But, like, he calls the Earth 616, and he says he's from Earth 388. Again.
He could just be making up those numbers though.
Yeah, but 616, that is like, remember we highlighted that
Oh, yeah.
podcast.
That's
Monday,
yeah.
Marvel Monday 616, that's their whole thing.
That could be just a
Just
Easter egg overall, maybe. Because
Right.
they're so I saw on Reddit that every time an elemental appears in this movie, that associated in the screen is like some Easter egg that has like the comic book number that they first appeared in.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
I
if
thought
you're-
that was pretty cool on the Easter egg spectrum, which that's something I would have probably never picked up on myself.
so just like a nod type Easter egg, not one that has like
Yeah.
heavy relevance. But still, I was bummed to hear that was just a lie.
I'm an expert now. I've read 12 comic books, so I know a lot about them.
You've read more than that. You've read the history of the Marvel Universe.
Oh yeah, that's a big one. So that counts like 10.
That one's
10 or
coming
20.
too. I ordered that one too. It's coming. It'll be here at
Attaboy.
some point. What else we got? I really liked Nick Fury whenever he's in Peter Parker's hostel. Then he like shoots Ned, knocks him out, and he's trying to explain to him the plan, and people just keep knocking one after the other.
If one more person comes in here.
Peter and Happy on that jet, and they're like heart to heart about Tony, and it just tugs on the heartstrings, saying like, I don't think Tony would have done what he did if he didn't know that you were going to be on the other side. That was really cool.
Does Nick Fury not know who Happy is?
Yes, he does know who Happy is because he like looked after him whenever we met Spider-Man in Captain America Civil War. Happy was like his handler. Got him
It just kinda
around,
seemed
and then
like
he
an-
handled him in Homecoming. Remember, he
Yeah.
was like the one he always called to be like, "Hey, where's Mr. Stark?"
It was just kind of like, I don't know, cold relationship.
Well, because Happy in this one is having a relationship with his Aunt May.
No, him and Nick Fury.
Oh, Nick Fury. You
Oh,
said.
yeah.
I thought you said Happy. Nick Fury.
Nick Fury and Happy. Do
That's-
they know each other?
Yeah, they know each other. They know each other just enough, I
Well,
think.
I mean,
You're
it's
totally
not
right,
Nick
though.
Fury though; it's a Skrull. So
Yeah.
what does he know about him? That's the problem.
Well, and this
I'm
time,
like, how do you even? You have to almost have to rewatch this whole movie and think about that because I
Well-
always forget to do that, like you said earlier.
this was only like my third or fourth time, fourth time watching this movie again, probably fourth. And I was doing that. I was like from the beginning when because this movie opens up with Nick Fury and we didn't even mention her, but
Maria Hill,
Maria Hill, played by Colby Smulders,
also a Skrull.
also a Skrull. You meet those two though as those two characters that we know in the very beginning, right? And I was like watching from then. I was like, from here on out, I'm watching it because we just saw Captain Marvel, so it was perfect. You know who it is? It's Talos.
Mm-hmm.
It's the main guy that we met in 1995. So Nick Fury's known this guy since 1995.
And Soren.
Yeah.
That's the other one.
Yeah, it's his
Soren.
wife. I never knew her name.
Oh, it's so great. And like you can see kind of how he walks and the way he talks that he has that dialect of almost of Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah,
You'll
great.
s-
He
I mean,
plays
who
that
am I
part
talking
perfectly.
to? You've seen this 20 times.
I've seen parts of it 20 times. I definitely haven't like fully sat down and be like, all right, watching Spider-Man Far From Home again, trying
just-
to catch up to Batman 1989
I
on the
pi-
rankings list of movies I've watched.
I pictured you just like in a Spider-Man like hoodie and like your
Or
your
his
po-
costume again.
and the costume. Oh yeah, in the mask.
Oh shit!
Is it
Yeah.
time for it again?
I do have 2 Spider-Man costumes, so I could. Maybe I am Spider-Man.
Let's talk about some connections. Okay, let's just say like, what do you need to see? What don't you need to see? Where's this thing connect? We were talking about this before. This movie's kind of convoluted. There's a lot happening. There's a lot going on. A lot of connections. Again, Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame. You got to see those before you watch this, just to have the knowledge of what the blip is. That being said, if you don't really care about that and you're just like a Spider-Man fan, and you're like, I want to watch Spider-Man Homecoming and then this movie, you'll be fine. But
You'll be fine.
You'll just be confused a little bit about like, oh, the blip, like these kids are older. Like what?
Just skip that first 5 minutes. You might be good.
That's really true. If you just cut out like 1 or 2 scenes, you'd be like, you wouldn't know the difference. But for the diehard MCU fan, you got to see those in the right order. I mean, Iron Man is Peter's mentor, so he is mentioned and shown throughout the whole movie. We literally said it. You see flashbacks to movies. We get a couple mentions here. I think that was really it in terms of like what you have to watch. Spider-Man: No Way Home's coming out December 2021. That'll be the 3rd movie. So yeah, there's your 3 movies if you just want to watch Spider-Man. But some mentions in here I thought were fun. All right, so we have Morris Bench. This is basically the MCU's Aquaman. I forget what his title. I forget what he is. He's like Hydro Man or something like that. But Flash Thompson, at one point says, I just read on Reddit that Morris Bench it could be possibly him. They're trying to figure out who Mysterio is. They're like, who's this new hero? And he's like, Morris Bench, maybe. It's this guy I just heard had this water accident. And he's reading online.
I've never heard that. Cool. Wow.
So that could be, like, if we ever see this Hydro Man, I forget what he's called.
Well, they said the 4 elementals are modeled after different Spider-Man villains from Marvel comic books. Hydro Man, Molten Man, Sandman, and Cyclone.
Yeah, Sandman I know for sure, but I don't really know. Molten Man, okay.
Yeah, he's just fire guy.
Inspired by, and that's a Spider-Man movie. Makes sense. We already said that Earth 616-833 were mentioned. Skrulls, this is big, okay? So if you're like, okay, you're in this movie, I mean, you get to the end. I mean, this would be hella confusing if you were like, you didn't know what Skrulls were. If you hadn't seen Captain Marvel and you see the end of Spider-Man Far From Home, Nick Fury and Maria Hill.
Who are those aliens?
They were there. You'd be like, what just happened? So I would say that Captain Marvel would probably be really good to watch for this one. And also, in passing, it's real quick. If you don't pay attention, you miss it. There's a phone call to Maria Hill, and Nick Fury's walking with him. And before she answers, he just quickly says, Kree sleeper cells. People aren't supposed to know about that, right? That's what he says. And then she picks up the phone, and it's over. So Kree sleeper cells. Again, the Kree, the bad guys of Captain Marvel. Ronan is a Kree. He was the guy that broke off in Guardians of the Galaxy, the big bad guy. And they're the enemy of the Skrulls. Something's going on with Kree sleeper cells. They're setting this up. This is the end of Phase 3. It's setting you up for Phase 4. Let's do some ratings. I'll go and get out of the way. I said it before. Swan song for Tony Stark. This is a Spider-Man movie through and through. Thought he'd get to really bust out, spread his wings, fight a good villain that required him to use his Peter tingle. And it's one that I happily put on for a really good time. Some real Iron Man nostalgia. I give it a 3.1. Saving you for last. PC Mike, what'd you think?
I'm right there with you. I enjoy these a little bit more than some other Marvel movies that we've watched. I'm a little higher than you, but not much. I was at a 3.2. I think they're just fun watches, and like if you're home and you want to watch it 20 times in a row, I mean that's what you do. But no, they're fun, and I think we've all talked about he's the perfect cast for Spider-Man.
Tell me, you were going to say something earlier about the villain.
I think it's cool what they did.
Okay,
I've never seen like a villain do this. Like it seems like for some reason a villain is always, well, especially now, like has some superpowers or does something. I guess not really Michael Keaton's character in the last one.
Yep.
But this one did something different that I've never seen, like using a lot more technology.
Yeah.
Kind of being like mysterious, being a magician and things like that. And I thought that was it was kind of a cool little turn on a villain because that could really happen.
Yeah.
I kind of like the realistic aspect of that.
And he says people are so easy to fool and to lie to because they're already lying to themselves.
And I feel like a lot of this had to do with like a lot of fake news with Jonah Jameson at the end saying basically having dailybugle.net it's called and like kind of looked like craziness, like this is happening, he's a terrorist and all this stuff.
Just filling the pipeline.
Filling the pipelines. And it's going to be interesting to see kind of him as a maybe fugitive.
On the run, like just out, he just puts his hands on his head, like everyone knows who he is. Yeah. Did we ever already talk about the end credit scenes? Yeah, we did. Giggler, go ahead, rant and ramble. Tell us your rating.
My rating is much higher than yours, guys. This is my favorite movie ever. I've watched
top 10.
No, I'm just kidding. It's I kind of just wanted to compare it to like Homecoming. I think to me, they're both awesome. Not many things you can complain about. Like, honestly, for this movie, if there's one thing, and this is kind of silly because it's not really in their control, but like what Mike was saying about the villain, like, unfortunately, dude, like before this movie, a lot of people were like speculating and being like, oh, Mysterio, he has, like, I didn't know much about him as a character,
Yeah.
but it came out basically that he probably was going to be basically fooling Spider-Man in this movie. Like, do you remember that?
I do. I remember it like already being
Yeah.
like, of course, that's going to be the bad guy. Mysterio is a bad guy in the comics and in the Spider-Man the animated series. I think he was in that, if I remember correctly.
That's what I was thinking for Mike. Like, did you know that prior? So
I had
like-
hintings
okay.
of who he was, but I was like, oh, maybe it's gonna be like.
Yeah,
That's
like a
exciting.
little
So
turn.
you watching it just this weekend, you really didn't know though that it was going to twist like that. Did they get you?
I had a vibe that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
But like, the reveal came earlier than I thought it would.
And the way they do the reveal,
Like, all right,
And
guys, that's good.
he goes, "Well, that wasn't so hard."
Yeah. Like everything was fake.
Yes.
That threw me off.
And the bar is
Yeah.
like coming back, and you're like, "What is happening?" I was like that the first
So
time
I
because
thought-
like you knew. I know what you mean, but you,
Yeah, like
I knew he was
just,
a bad guy, but I didn't know like how he was a bad guy.
Okay.
It would have been just such a better movie if that could have been like a plot twist somehow, or like not.
He
I don't
wasn't
even know
like-
if that's like spoiled. I mean, that's just saying
It was a little spoiled.
that's
though.
just comic like canon that
or you didn't know
basically-
he was Mysterio.
people are doing predictions of. Like, we sit here and talk about what we think's going to happen with movies that are coming up and stuff. So just sometimes it takes away from it, I guess. I don't know.
I know what
That's-
you mean,
yeah.
but I mean, well, let's get your.
This
rate.
was like public knowledge. Like, it was just
It
It
was.
was like on comicbook.com and all that stuff, like before the movie. So
Okay.
it wasn't like a secret or anything.
Yeah, well, and I also remember watching this thing in theaters, and like it's the same thing that happened with Captain Marvel and Ant-Man and the Wasp. It was like, except the Endgame had already happened. So like I remember in theaters just being like, oh, yeah, it was good, but I was like still just so sad that like the Infinity Saga had ended. But like rewatching it many times now, I think it's starting to like get better and better, like better with age. Like the Marvel method starts to really come through. But I don't think we got your rating.
Oh yeah, 3.4.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Loved it, obviously. Favorite part that I didn't mention earlier. I love Led Zeppelin. Great quote.
Yeah.
Oh, great quote.
When he plays
I
it.
love Led
And
Zeppelin.
then, yeah, I mean, obviously, Iron Man's like probably one of my favorite of all time. So this movie like hits home a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And in that scene where he was kind of making his own suit, you could kind of see, like you just said, flashbacks to like Iron Man 1, to where he's using the holograms and like putting it on his body or whatever to see what the suit would look like. That's like just a direct callback to that. So
That
I
was
like,
direct,
this is,
yeah.
Like, I love when they just do stuff like
And,
that.
and
Just-
John Favreau's just standing there smiling, and
Yeah.
I mean, that's a deeper moment, even more than just happy. Of course, being being Tony Stark's right hand man forever. It's also like John Favreau, Marvel Studios. You know, he was there at the very beginning with that 2008 movie that kicked off everything that led to Phase 3 wrapping up, which it does with this movie. It was absolutely an homage. Yeah, he's got this on his wrist.
Yep.
I will say it seemed a little cheesy whenever he like looks at Happy. I was like, he could have had the timing down a little bit better. But I absolutely adore Tom Holland. I think that he is like just a force to be reckoned with. And I mean, you look at the other stuff he's done. I mean, he's outside of this character doing movies like Cherry, like just bringing it too. So just a guy with some range.
it's his
Yeah.
birthday today.
And it's his birthday,
birthday,
today. The day we review this movie.
I didn't know.
We'll get him to comment.
Yeah, man. Happy birthday, Tom. You're welcome. It's us.
Friend of the show, Tom Holland.
Yeah, him and James Gunn just out here just loving mostly superheroes. We'll get them. We'll get them. Put this up for a nice little clip for him. But I agree. Can't wait for Spider-Man No Way Home. Thought we could wrap up with you guys excited for that movie? I mean, God, at this point, we have no idea what's going to happen. I mean, we have an idea because we know there's characters coming in from all over the place. But man, I mean, he's outed right now.
Yeah, and I think it's a multiverse type of thing gonna
Yeah,
happen. I
like
mean,
Doctor Strange on set. We hear that Charlie Cox, Daredevil from the show, is going to be in here now. Electro from Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
Doc Ock from
Ock.
Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
Yep.
Just everything.
is Green Goblin too?
I've heard rumors.
That's what. Yeah, there's that kind of resurfaced this week. A bunch of rumors about that, but like I don't know. I mean, I see where they kind of what we were talking about with the Mysterio thing. Like, it would be great if this could be like Skywalker, Mandalorian level like surprises.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, I know.
How do they decide what I mean, obviously, are they leaking this stuff early, or is it other people leaking it? I don't know. It's just there's just too much paparazzis and set photos and all that stuff.
There's
and
so much,
it
and
gets
like,
out in the public.
we
and-
already know so much about the movie in terms of who's in it, but like we just have no idea what the story's gonna be like.
Exactly. That's why I'm most excited for it. I think it's gonna bust the MCU open, and I think a lot of movies are going to be announced after this, because I think this is what's the pipeline is kind of,
Yeah,
it's like clogged up a little bit. There haven't had a lot of huge announcements lately, but I think that once this comes out, it's going to lead to, like I said, Sinister Six stuff, maybe Sony crossover down the road. Who knows?
and yeah, you look at that, exactly what happened with Falcon and the Winter Soldier and the big movie announcement after that. I won't even say it just in case of when you're listening to this, but like you're totally spot on. All right, so we're talking about Spider-Man Far From Home, another title in the MCU library. Of course, we always want to tell you, what do you watch after this? You just saw Spider-Man Far From Home. You're trying to watch the MCU in order. Well, it's pretty fun now, folks. You're in Phase 4. These are the titles you'd watch next. They're streaming on Disney+. WandaVision would be next. 9 episodes. Then you got 6 episodes of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And do we know how many episodes Loki's going to be? It's coming out here next week, June 9th.
Wow.
For us here in real time. But if you're watching in order, Spider-Man, you got WandaVision, Falcon, Winter Soldier, Loki. Isn't this crazy?
I'm so ready.
Like, we're real time. We are real time right now, other than like we are going to have to go back and watch The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton. But other than that, MCU, we're up to speed, folks.
Wow.
Wow.
Good job, guys. Pat ourselves on the back.
I would. I mean, absolutely. If you haven't been to the mostlysuperheroes.com/MCU, you got to go check it out. The titles are looking fresh. They're right in release order, the order that we watch it. If you're ever asking yourself, when do I watch this? It's on the website. Go check it out. You're saying that, but
Loki 6 episodes, I believe.
Loki will be 6 episodes.
But most importantly, listeners, pat yourself on the back, because somehow you listen to us say all these words for how many weeks now?
If you watched them all. Yeah, or maybe you're just pairing them with your favorite MCU flick, but who knows? But lots more coming. We are wrapping this thing up. Let's get into what's coming up. Lots happening on the show. We're trying this new thing out on the music show where we pair the meat that we do on this show with the music show if it has a bomb soundtrack. Spider-Man Far From Home did just fine. Go over to Spotify, exclusively on Spotify, built using Anchor, thanks to the artists on Spotify especially. You just search the music show. You can also scan right now. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, we have the Spotify QR code pulled up. You can also search Spotify for Spider-Man Far From Home soundtrack. It'll pop right up. And of course, you can always find it at mostlysuperheroes.com/the music show. A lot of else coming up on the show. We have too many things coming up at this point, but we are honing in, getting some focus next week. And we have a big announcement about the schedule. But before we get there, Loki's coming, and we just said it, June 9th, Wednesday, mark your calendar, 6 episodes. Tom Hiddleston is back, an alternate version of this beloved character that jumped from a timeline from the Avengers movie in his own series. It's happening. He's going to be jumping worlds. We know that there's characters from all over. Owen Wilson's in this show. We cannot wait to start breaking it open with you folks.
Wow.
There's got to be some jokes about it, right? Surely.
Oh, God.
Loki will probably make fun of him, I bet. In terms of the MCU, wrapping up the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we do have one more to go.
It never ends.
Oh, my God. I'm wondering if we take a break. I say next week. Well, next week we're going to have Loki.
Loki's from here on out. We might have double meats.
We just come back at the Hulk later.
Oh, I can do this next week.
We could do it because we could do it so fast now. We get it down to 5-10 minutes. All right,
I'm down. It's up to you.
I'm down.
You're the boss.
I'm down.
You down to watch it?
Mm-hmm.
You promise you watch it?
This one's hard to find.
We got to have that watch party.
Yeah.
All right, I promise to have you guys over to watch it.
Okay.
We'll do movie night. That'll be fun. You can bring your ladies. We can do a whole thing. All right, The Incredible Hulk, Edward Norton, a Universal Studios picture, part of the MCU canon, though, so we will put it in our list. If you want to watch it out there, you can rent it on YouTube, iTunes, Apple TV, Vudu. Looks like it's $3.99 to rent.
That's can't wait to say.
I bought it.
Hey,
know,
wife.
8 years ago.
Hey, wife, do you want to watch a movie about a guy that gets really angry with me and my friends?
That's what it is. It'll be good. There's some love in there. There's love.
Graphics don't look
she'll
too
be
bad
down.
in this little thing.
It looks pretty good. This is miles ahead of the Eric Bana Hulk, I promise. And yeah, man, here we go. Here's the big update, listener. This is what you got to pay attention to. If you've been a diehard fan of the show, we are about to rock your world. New episodes have been on Thursdays. They're now going to be on Mondays.
You got to adapt.
Why are you doing this to me, you say? Why are you changing it? Well, Loki's here, and if we would always be so far behind by the time you were watching the next episode. We want to do this, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've kind of wanted to get to a Monday or Tuesday release, but it's like, when do you make the shift? Loki gave us that reason. So starting next week, we're going to listen to, I guess we'll have a week. Yeah, there'll be next week. You'll be without an episode because this one will be out this week. The following week, you won't have an episode. I guess that's true.
We can make one.
We could make one. We could do like the Incredible Hulk just very quickly and have it like be a mini episode. We'll figure it out. Keep an eye out. But what you can count on is the episode with the Loki episode 1 review. It'll come out for you on Monday, 1 week from today for us, real time. So June. No, that's not right.
No, 11th.
No, we'll still have an episode. We'll still have an episode next week, right?
Dude, my brain's.
Not unless we come in on Monday.
Yeah.
And even if we did, though, the episode wouldn't drop till Thursday. So we're recording on Wednesday. Either way, new episodes on Monday starting on, it's a week after that. So June 18th. Either way, turn on your alerts in your app so you always know when there's new episodes. If you don't have it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
June 11th. Today's June 1st.
Today's June 1st. So 1 week from today would be, I see. You're right. Because today's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because we just have Memorial Day.
Yep. Wow. Talk about.
We said we didn't have any brain cells today. We admitted it. And
Yeah.
the listener's like, okay, so.
Monday, June 14th.
Not confusing.
June 14th.
Not confusing at all.
Oh, we just said different dates.
All you need to know is new episodes coming out on Monday. And what does that mean for Patreon subscribers? That means Sunday. That's all it means. Sunday, you're going to get a new episode. We're recording on Wednesdays. We're going to see Loki fresh. So we'll literally watch it, and then we'll talk about it. Might as well just come over on those days and we watch it. All right, cool. The music show, nothing changes. That'll be on Tuesday. The live on Instagram will move to Wednesday, and we're bringing back live on Twitch. Going to do reruns of the episode live on Twitch every Thursday, and nothing changes with Logan's letter. That's coming every single Friday. Our weekly newsletter, our weekly love letter to the fans. And Saturday will always be fan mail, engaging with you guys on our Facebook, our Instagram, and our Twitter.
I love it.
Does it work for you guys?
Works perfect.
Oh, yes.
Wednesday nights, baby. You're
so
going to be over
excited.
here.
Honestly, it's great. Mondays are usually my busiest day at work because of just overlap from the weekend. So
I know you're constantly late. So maybe
Chronically late.
like usually late. It's like, so Wednesday, you think you'll be here like a little earlier?
Oh, I'll be here whenever you want Wednesday.
And Mike,
I could be here at 8 a.m. When can you be here?
PC Mike's wrapping up teaching. What'd you say, tomorrow?
Yeah, we're done. Half day
Shoot,
tomorrow.
I'm just gonna bring my laptop, post up here one day, and just do 2 jobs at once.
Hey, yeah. I mean, you work from home. We bring it over. We'll be watching Loki live. But man, lots coming up on the show. We didn't put it in the slides today, but we still got the DC rewatch. We got a Invincible episode coming soon, and I mean, Loki's gonna take up 6 weeks, so that's gonna be half a summer. Don't look at that the way, PC
Wow.
Mike. Don't get too sad.
Wow.
What do you got plans for the summer, PC Mike? Can do anything fun? Just gonna.
Got some trips planned. Little trips here and there.
It's time to
So,
get out and about
Me and the lady.
again.
Yep. And I guess watching a bunch of DC and Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
And Invincible. I've only watched 1 episode of Invincible.
I'm only still halfway through.
So I watched MODOK. You guys should maybe do that.
So MODOK, we haven't even really talked
What
about
is
on the
that?
show.
Oh,
yet.
We'll get there.
with
We'll get
Patton
there.
I know.
I've only watched 1, so I didn't want to even use it for what you watching this week. But
But you started it.
yeah, we'll get to that.
But we're gonna talk about that's the one that's on Hulu,
Hulu, yes.
and it's Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt.
Yep.
Like,
It's like
R-rated.
robot chicken style show.
Is it? How many have you watched?
I watched 1.
How was
It
it?
made me laugh a lot.
You liked it?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not a robot chicken fan at all. I thought those shows were weird. I don't know if you guys have.
I
ever-
loved them.
like,
Seth,
never
I
seen
never
it.
Seth
really
Green
watched
is involved.
Yeah. Oh,
with
okay.
MODOK
Yeah.
too, I
Oh,
think.
Patton Oswalt's like one of the best parts about it, and John Hamm's Iron Man, so that's kind of cool.
Because MODOK, just for folks that might not know, and I'm talking to kind of myself right now, but isn't he he was a bad guy in Spider-Man also, wasn't he?
I don't know what he was.
Or was he a bad guy in?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
Because
I don't know
he's like a
specifically.
fat little square head.
there's barely any. There's not a lot of
I know he's purple
connection
because I've just seen
start.
screenshots.
But he's
Yeah.
but it's just like a.
It's just so stupid.
It's like a skit
It's
show.
no. It's supposed to be like almost like a animated like sitcom almost.
All right, MoDoc. We'll keep it on the radar. But lots coming up. Giggler, any final words for the squad? Anybody you want to say hi to?
My happy birthday, belated birthday to my beautiful wife. There we go.
Oh yeah,
And we talked about it earlier, but
happy birthday, Steph.
she turned 29 again.
Heck yeah, that's right. Happy 29th birthday again. PC Mike, anything for the fans here as you enter summer after your last day of school tomorrow?
Start calling. I want to hear some voices.
754 call log.
225-5564.
Who's our one that does a great job on the squad and was featured today on Fan Mail?
Our boy Scott.
Scott. I want Scott to be a regular caller.
Scott, it's time for you to become a regular caller.
Yep.
You just got called out during the show. You email us in. You write us on Facebook. You keep us informed. This guy lent us the Invincible book. You know about all these things. You know about
Yep.
Moon Knight.
I
Things.
want him to be like our knowledge,
It sounds like he's
like our OMEC.
he has his own.
Legends
He
of
has
the
his
Hidden
own vast library of novels, graphic novels.
Yeah, he's our OMEC for graphic novels and things.
Scott, the ego's got to be exploding right now. You better call and leave us the best damn voicemail. No pressure. Better be perfect though.
Because we're going to play it.
for the the 10 people that listen out
Hey,
there.
there's more than that. We keep climbing.
Hey, we are climbing. The squad's getting big. We're about to hit 100. Our Twitter's blowing up. Instagram. It's all mostly superheroes. It's all everywhere. Mondays are about to get mostly. Just get ready. Mostly Mondays are coming. God, that's going to be a t-shirt.
Love alliterations.
It's happening. Mostly Mondays, and then we haven't committed to it yet, but we might start mixing in some more live shows. We might do some more live watches, changing it up, keeping it fresh. Guys, keep on coming back. We appreciate you. You're the best squad. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on your alerts. Tell a friend. Keep on coming back and support your favorite independent podcast. We got Giggler, PC Mike. I'm Logan. We'll see you next week on Mostly Superheroes. Take it easy.